et rechargez votre passe Navigo directement depuis les applis Île-de-France Mobilité. Bonjour RATP.
Every runner has certain rituals before a race. One of mine is to eat a big pasta dinner the night before. I then lay out my bib, which I picked up 2 days prior in Champs-Élysées, my shoes, my running clothes. I drink plenty of water. I at least try to get lots of sleep, but if I'm excited, like I am with this one, I'll be lucky if I get 5 straight hours. The morning of, I eat nothing. And I obsessively check weather forecasts several times a day all week. And then I pray. I pray for good weather, sunny and cool, but not warm. No rain, but if rain, no lightning. If a wind, then let it be a tailwind. I pray there will be enough porta potties at regular intervals and that they are somewhat clean. I pray for other things, unmentionables. I pray I don't accidentally go off course like I did during my first half marathon. I pray I don't fall or get injured. I pray I don't get side stitches or have stomach issues, causing me to lose precious minutes while I frantically look for and then barricade myself inside a porta potty, like I did during my first official marathon. I usually pray that the course has some soft ground, but I know in Paris there will be none. I just pray that I don't end up splayed on the cobblestones at some point, bleeding, which also has happened before. And then I pray that I at least make good time, for this will be recorded. And while I have run longer distances than the one I am running this morning, this will be my first and maybe only 10K in Paris. When I was planning my time here, I had hoped perhaps that a nearby city would have a race. A little one I could run just to see what races are like outside of California. So I was overjoyed to find one in Paris during my summer. And not only that, the course will take me through the highlights. The organizers will shut down the streets surrounding almost every known landmark. Arc de Triomphe, Place de la Concorde, and the Eiffel. Entering a race is a little bit more complicated in France than in the US. For one thing, they require that your doctor sign off on a medical waiver, which is in French, even if you're only running a 10K. I emailed the waiver to my doctor, hoping he would sign it without seeing me, but he insisted on a physical exam. So after a few years without seeing each other, my doctor and I got reacquainted. He declared me fit and healthy and signed off on the waiver. Unlike US races, I wasn't notified what time I was supposed to start. I didn't realize until the morning of that I was supposed to check the website for my start time. I was very soft on myself in case I overslept, which has never happened. and signed up for an hour plus time. I'm not a fast runner, but I really should have at least put down under an hour. As it turned out, there were almost 20,000 runners, and 1 hour plus was the last corral to run, which put my starting time past 10 a.m. This was hours too late for me. I'm used to starting races between 7 to 8 a.m. I could not start any earlier since my bib was color-coded. I could have snuck in an earlier corral. Believe me, I've done it before. So I was forced to wander and wait for a couple hours, watching corral after corral go before me. At least it was a festival-like atmosphere with loud music, a DJ, an MC, and entertainers, though mostly in French. And I mean, come on, there are worse places to kill time, right? But I could feel all the lovely carbs from the pasta and bread the night before slowly turning from ready fuel to storage, I guess. When it comes to running, timing your meals is everything. So I found a store and hurriedly ate some M&Ms, hoping they wouldn't disagree with me. And when it was finally my corral's turn to enter the funnel for the starting line, a new worry reared up. We were all squeezed in such a tight space. Easily 1,000 of us. I was wearing my mask and planned to wear a mask for as long as I could during my run. But what if I had put myself smack in the middle of a super spreader event? I was double vaccinated and once boosted. What else could I do though? C'est la vie. I had been hearing the MC do a countdown for every corral, so by now I have learned how to count down from 10 in French. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Run for the oceans! We were nowhere near the ocean, but I gather that this rallying cry meant part of the proceeds went to marine research and sustainability. Who knows? I was finally off and running!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Once I started, my first goal was to get away from everyone else and find a comfortable pace where I was completely open all around me. And to do that, I had to run without a mask. So I bit the bullet, pulled my mask down, and ran as fast as I could. I ran so fast I passed multiple corrals that had started before me. And once I got into a bubble is when I started to enjoy myself. I was running down the barricaded streets of Paris, the Eiffel Tower behind me and the Seine on my right, passing the shining flame of liberty, Opera Garnier, down the famed Rue de Rivoli, past the glass pyramid of the Louvre, and finally finishing at the golden obelisk of Place de la Concorde. It was a heady whirlwind of blue and of crowds cheering from the sidelines. 99% of my running time is spent in blessed, welcome solitude. But today I'm part of a spectacle, a collective, unstoppable human stream bearing down the cobblestones of this ancient city. I've never cried during a run, not even when I was bone tired, when I have a side stitch, or when I have fallen and was bleeding. But I cried today. I just simply could not believe I was here. Soon after I crossed the finish line, collected my medal and swag, and did the obligatory walk through the after party, which was impressive as far as after race parties go. But you know me, I would have run another 10K just to get away from the crowds. I stayed only a few minutes before sprinting to the metro. Back at home, I changed into a dress and tried to tame my now hopelessly unruly hair. I had a lovely La Vie en Rose tartine at Dame Tartine. Behind me were two American authors. One was doing a book signing, but I couldn't tell who they were. No one I have read, I think. But it was fascinating to, well, first of all, understand what they were saying, and second of all, to hear a little of the business side of being a writer. The networking, the signings, events, and appearances. I wonder if they consider themselves as having made it by being invited to an author event in Paris. Today was Free Sunday at the city's museums, and I chose Centre Pompidou. It is a horribly ugly building, though. It turns out you still need a ticket to see the exhibits, albeit free. I forget how free attracts so many people. Again, I was in the middle of so many, standing in a long line to get in. All I did was go up to the very top and look out all over Paris. The views were lovely, I admit, despite the clouds, and lacking a ticket, it was all the excuse I needed to go back home and stay there. After Pompidou's aborted outing, I treated myself to my first real crepe of this visit, Nutella. It was sugar heaven, just as amazing as I remember. All warm and melty in my mouth. It was gone in seconds. And if that wasn't enough, when I got home, I made French toast, Pain Perdu, from leftover French bread of the night before. Pain Perdu, lost bread. Such a strange name. I wonder how it came to be. Almost as though this was bread that had taken a wrong turn and wandered off the path. It was as delicious as my imagination had supposed. Okay, no more carbs for the week. Going back on the keto wagon. I will do only solitary activities tomorrow. I need to recover from the crowds of today. No museums, no lines, no indoors, no noise, nothing loud. I think I'll go to a cemetery to recoup, find my center again. I am in search of peace. Even here at home, I am bothered by a balcony party across the street, loud music blaring and lots of excited yelling. There must be a soccer game going on. Oh, and I forgot to say, yesterday, someone ahead of me in the street dropped their bag of mushrooms, and I immediately called out, "Madame, champignon!" She thanked me very nicely, but I was so proud that the word came to me without hesitation.